You're watching NFL Daily, and today's show is presented by my favorite sponsor, Manscaped. Head on over to manscaped.com/chat, where you guys can save 20% off and get free shipping on the best male grooming products out there. So we got a mailbag coming up here, so if you guys want to get on the show, you got to use hashtag NFL, or you can super chat. This next one's coming in from Barrett B49. What up, Barrett B? Who's the most underrated team right now? So this is actually a pretty good question here. In terms of what exactly is an underrated team, I'll say a team that nobody is really thinking about because they've lost a few games and they're 3-5. I'm going to throw out the team, the Seattle Seahawks, who they're about to get back Russell Wilson. You can make the argument that they're the worst team in that current division. But at 3-5, do not sleep on Seattle for making a late playoff push, because if Russ is in the game, they're at least going to have an opportunity. If somebody wants to give me another team name, I might throw out the New England Patriots, who've been playing much better football. Also, the Atlanta Falcons. They're sneaky 4-4, and if they beat Dallas this week, oh yeah, get on the Atlanta hype train. So please, if you haven't yet, hit that big red button that says subscribe. And what I want you guys to do is turn on your notifications. And if you don't really know how to turn on your noties, don't worry, I got you covered. Hopefully I don't have to explain how to turn on everything in your life for you, but I will walk you through the steps here. Hit this notification bell if you're on your phone. You see this thing I got circled in red? That's what it looks like on your mobile device. Click that. And then I want you to click all. That's what it looks like on mobile, right? But maybe you're a little bit of an old school guy like my dad and you watch everything on a desktop. It's all good. This is what it would look like if you were watching on a desktop. Just click the notification bell and then again, click all. That's all you have to do. That way you never miss a video here at Chat Sports. All right, guys, remember, use hashtag NFL or Super Chat to get here on the show. Randy Savage, you're next up. That's a hell of a last name. Will Odafe Oweh win Defensive Rookie of the Year? So I actually really like this question. Personally, I'm a big fan of Oweh just from watching him at Penn State. And everyone was talking, oh, he didn't have any sacks his final year at Penn State. Got 14 tackles, 3 sacks, 3 tackles for loss, 2 forced fumbles, and a fumble recovery with Baltimore. I don't know if he's the front runner to win Defensive Rookie of the Year, but he's definitely in my top 5. I would say right now the front runner to win the award is Micah Parsons, just because of everything he's been able to do for the Dallas Cowboys. And on top of that, he's playing for the Cowboys. He gets a lot of attention. Hello. The Miami Dolphins running back situation is a joke, but if Gaskin was behind a good O-line like the Browns, would he be good? Or is it just Gaskin? I think he would be good. I think most running backs would actually be pretty solid behind the Cleveland Browns offensive line. But, I mean, Gaskin was good last year when he was healthy, right? I mean, he was able to move the football. I kind of talked about this on a show on our Miami Dolphins YouTube channel, which I said the Dolphins probably have the worst offensive line in football. And the stat that I've been throwing out all week is the top 3 offensive linemen who have allowed the most pressures in the NFL, all 37, all 3 of them are on Miami. Jesse Davis, Liam Eichenberg, Austin Jackson. That's how bad that line's been. All right, we got Rico. What up, brother? Is Dak out of the MVP race after a horrendous performance last week? I don't know if he's totally out of it, but he's definitely come down at least a little bit. I mean, anytime you miss a game and anytime you have a really putrid performance like he had up against Denver, sure, people come down a little bit. But at the same time, Matthew Stafford had a really bad game this past week. Josh Allen's had a few bad games. Tom Brady hasn't played all that solid. Derrick Henry obviously is totally out of it. Kyler Murray, he's already missed the game and hasn't played solid in every single one. It really is going to come down to what Dak and the Cowboys do, I think, at the end of the season, because that's where people really start to care. Nobody gives a shit about what you do the first 10 games of the season. If Dak turns it on at the end, I mean, that's where you're really going to start getting some people to go ahead. You know what? That guy's going to end up winning the MVP. So is he totally out of it after one game and a missed game? I'm going to go ahead and say no. What up, Jillian? Will Brandin Cooks get traded? I can guarantee you he will not get traded this year. You know why? The NFL trade deadline was last week. Now, will he get traded in the offseason? Maybe. I don't 100% know. But I appreciate the question, Jillian. And to make sure that nobody out there gets traded from your starting roster or from your main piece, whatever you want to go with, I want you to head on over to manscaped.com/chat. 20% off, and you're going to get free shipping. Where? On the best male grooming products out there. I personally recommend the Lawnmower 4.0. It fits great in your hand. And if you're looking for a maybe out-of-the-box style of gift for a stocking stuffer, This stuff makes an awesome gift. Like, I gave my dad a Manscaped perfect package last year. I gave my girlfriend's stepdad a perfect package as well. And as soon as they open up the box, they start laughing. It makes for a great holiday gift. And it's going to come up quicker than what you think, guys. Like, Thanksgiving is what, 2 weeks away? Less than 2 weeks away, basically. And then Christmas is going to be here before you know it. The holidays are right around the corner. All I'm saying is don't wait until the very last minute. Get an awesome gift, and you can also get one for yourself. It's going to benefit you. I can promise you that. Head on over again, y'all. Manscaped.com/chat. 20% off, free shipping. That link is available for y'all in the comments and in the description. Let's go to MJ32. Well, Najee Harris went Offensive Rookie of the Year. I mean, he's got to be up in the running for it, right? I mean, he's got 128 carries this year, 479 yards. I wish that he would be behind a better offensive line because there's been a handful of games where I've watched Najee, and heck, I'm a Raider fan, and I watch the Raiders games pretty closely. And the game that Najee had up against Las Vegas, I was like, man, you can really see the talent that this young man has. However, the offensive line's a disaster. The only reason why I'm going to go ahead and say no, he's not going to win it is simply because the year that Jamar Chase is having. But we could also be in a scenario where even though oh my gosh, what's his name? The quarterback, Mac Jones. Yeah, holy hell. Totally drew a blank. Even though Mac Jones isn't having the best statistical season, the Patriots are 5-4. He's a quarterback, and usually it ends up going to a quarterback, especially if they figure out a way to win that division, because Buffalo right now, I don't know what the hell they're doing. So speaking of the AFC, who is right now currently the best team in the AFC? Last week I said the Buffalo Bills. L ticket. That's what I ended up taking because they laid a stinker losing, 9-6 up against the Jacksonville Jaguars. They couldn't move the football at all. So what I want you guys to do, let me know who's the best team in the AFC because right now this entire conference is wide open. Kind of a mind-blowing thing to think about. The Cincinnati Bengals 2 weeks ago were the number 1 seed if the playoffs were to start. They lost to the Jets, they lost to the Browns, and now if the playoffs were to start, they wouldn't even be in it. So this this conference, super competitive. Not Webb's World number 1, Allen High School's finest Kyler Murray for MVP. I mean, I know a few people around the Chat Sports office that watch high schoolers, run around the football field. And, whatever you guys want to do in your free time, that's up to you. But Kyler also has definitely, his MVP stock has come down a little bit simply because I think anytime you have another backup quarterback go in, and not that Colt McCoy looked better than Kyler, I'm not trying to say that, but he was at least serviceable. The offense was still able to click, and Kyler's a hell of a player. Obviously, his rushing ability helps him out as well, but Kyler's in my top 5 overall for MVP candidates, no doubt about it. All right, let's go to Barry Dunks. Will Tua be the Dolphins quarterback at the start of next season? I'm going to go ahead and say yes, though I'm not 100% confident on it. I think the offseason around Miami is going to be one to absolutely watch. I think the other questions to bring up are, is Brian Flores going to be the head coach? Because he's definitely going to be on the hot seat. And the Deshaun Watson rumors will not stop because it really sounded like that Miami and Houston was at least talking or really close to getting a deal done. Couldn't come to an agreement. I mean, if I was Miami, I would try to get out of Tua's situation as quick as possible because I just don't think he's the answer. Now, Thanksgiving is right around the corner, and if I'm being 100% legit with y'all, I'm not the biggest fan of Thanksgiving food, so I want to put this one out here. What's the better Thanksgiving side? Is it mashed potatoes or is it stuffing? Please type M for mashed potatoes, or you can go ahead and type S for stuffing. If you're the kind of person that's like, you know what, man, I just like to mix everything, you can go ahead and type SM down in the comments. If I had to pick between both, I would say I would rather have good stuffing over good mashed potatoes because I think mashed potatoes are a little bit simple personally, but both of them I usually end up passing on if I'm being 100% honest. Looking at a lot of the comments, I'm seeing a lot of S's. I do know this. Tom's favorite thing to eat on Thanksgiving is mashed potatoes, which maybe that tells you a little bit more about Tom. Let's go to Randy Balin. MVP is between Brady, Lamar Jackson, and Kyler. I'm not going to disagree with any of those votes coming in. And I definitely think Matthew Stafford has taken a step back, especially after his poor performance this past week. But if you guys want to let me know who is the MVP, if you think it's Tom Brady, if you think it's Kyler Murray, my vote right now is still going to end up going with Lamar Jackson. Now, maybe some of that changes after Thursday Night Football, but as it stands right now, I'm going to say Lamar. Now, we get a lot of questions here on NFL Daily. We got over 300 people watching right now. So if I didn't answer your question, blame Sam. He's the one that puts them up. But if you do want to hit me up on IG, I'm at Mitchell Renz 365. And again, if anybody wants to hang out with me in Vegas this weekend, please slide in the DMs. Let's go to Randy Balin. Titans, when Henry gets back, are going to be the team to beat. So as it stands right now, the Tennessee Titans are 7-2 and in first place in the AFC playoff picture. I mean, the fact that they won last week was pretty incredible. And when you really think about it, Tennessee is one game away. I know they lost to the Jets, but they didn't have their top two wide receivers, and they looked totally lost in that one. If you can get through the entire season, which, let's face it, they're going to end up winning that division because I don't have any confidence in the Indianapolis Colts catching up to Tennessee. Derrick Henry, yes, he's been battling here. He's going to be coming off an injury. You could also look at it that he's going to be fresh and he's going to be healthy. So he's going to be ready to rock and roll during the playoffs. And I hate to be a player in the NFL that's got to tackle Derrick Henry in January and possibly February. Good freaking luck. Noah Dye, would Dabo Swinney be a good fit with the Bears as their head coach? Dabo Swinney would never leave his job at Clemson to go coach for the Chicago Bears, which I get a lot of times people have a hard time realizing this because it's technically college football's down here, NFL's up here. Clemson, Alabama, I'll say Oklahoma, those three jobs are probably better than almost 90% of NFL. Why? Job security, and you're making a lot of money. Dabo ain't leaving to go to the Chicago Bears. That I can promise you. Let's go to Vroom Vroom. Since OBJ is a drama queen, thoughts on the Browns signing Golden Tate? Well, man, Golden Tate has also been kind of known to be a little bit of a drama queen and more of a slot receiver. I think Golden's washed up at this point, and if I was Cleveland, I would just focus on the players that you currently have on your roster. So I'm going to go ahead and say no on going out and getting free agent wide receiver Golden Tate. I'm trying to think of another receiver out there that would be interesting, but the fact that Josh Reynolds also got claimed today, I'm going to say no to Golden Tate and any other free agent receiver. L2_Clouds, thoughts on Justin Fields. Justin Fields is this really, really nice sports car that the driver, Matt Nagy, doesn't know how to use. And do I think that you've definitely seen at times that he's looked like a rookie? Yes, absolutely. The other issue is this. The Bears' offensive line is atrocious. They have allowed the most sacks in the NFL with 30, and they've only been in 8 games. Like, there's some teams that have played in 9 that haven't allowed that many quarterback sacks. He has the tools. You just got to be able to put a better scheme around him, and he needs a better head coach. He needs a better offensive line, and I do get worried that Chicago is going to waste away his talent by just getting him beat up, just play after play after play. Kyle Robinson, what up, brother? Do the Saints take a quarterback in next year's draft? And if so, who? So a lot of times I look at a lot of the NFL prospects at the end of the season because so much shit can happen. Does the injury to Jameis Winston hurt New Orleans? Yes, absolutely. Do I think that they have a lot of confidence in Taysom Hill, Ian Book, or Trevor Siemian long term? Probably not. Here's the other issue. Which quarterback do you have a lot of confidence in coming out of this year's draft? I mean, is Pickett, the kid from Pitt, the top QB? Is Corral, Malik Willis? There's just so many different question marks at the quarterback position. I'm going to go ahead and say if I'm New Orleans, you're going to continue to build, maybe find a receiver because Michael Thomas, dude, I don't know if he's ever going to play another game with the Saints if I'm being 100% honest. But Kyle, I appreciate the Super Chat, and if you guys want to get on the show, remember, #NFL or Super Chat. Super Sports Network, is Dan Campbell promising for Detroit? I'll give Campbell some credit where he's going to get his players to play for him, and they're going to go out there and ball out. The other issue is this. Detroit, it would not surprise me if they did not win a game. And if, like, looking through their schedule, dude, if they don't beat the Bears, I just don't know when that win's going to come. And if you're talking about an NFL franchise that has 2 years of them not winning a game in the last 20 seasons, That's bad, bad news. And as Micro Mike would say, right now they are cheeks. All right, we got all-out Broncos 18-58. Can Denver win the AFC West? Can they? Sure. All four teams in that division right now have 5 wins. The issue is, when I really think about the overall, we'll say, structure of every single AFC West team, I do see Denver being the weakest. I've been very impressed by Teddy Bridgewater. I've been impressed overall by Javonte Williams. He's been a hell of a running back. Them losing out on Von Miller in that defense, having a few injuries, does make it a little shaky. I'll still say no, I don't think they're going to win it, but sure, man. I mean, anything's possible in the NFL.